Okay, let me double check. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Making sure that we are live. Okay, we're good, I think. Okay, sorry. Okay, I have a question for you. Happy Monday, by the way. Happy freaking Monday. So, I want you to think about something. Happy Monday, by the way, if I didn't say that. But I want you to think about something when it comes to today's topic. I want you to think about your last 9 to 5 job, or if you're still in, the corporate 9 to 5 life, your current job, and think about this. What makes you feel confident that you are going to be consistently paid, right? Because we're talking today about consistent income and creating consistent income in your business. So what about your 9 to 5 makes you feel confident, like you don't have that stress, right, that you're going to get a paycheck, that if you do what you're going to do, you're going to get paid. So I really want you to think about this. And then kind of just a quick follow-up question, that what makes being paid from your 9 to 5, or if it was in the past, made it feel easier than being consistently paid in your business. Okay, so super curious about your sorry, to really think about your answer to that question. So what about your 9 to 5 made you feel safe? What made you know that you were going to be paid, that you were going to have consistent income? Okay. So I just want you to think about it. So it might be that they told you, right? They told you that they were going to give you a paycheck. That's number one, right? They told you. So if someone tells you that they're going to pay you, that makes you feel safer, right? Is it that you knew exactly what to do in order to create that expectation? You knew exactly what you needed to do. You knew when you needed to show up. You knew the duties. You knew, for instance, I'm going to kind of go into my own little story here. Okay. So for me, I left my corporate job a little, 7.5-ish years ago, going on that, as a director of sales and marketing, working with Aramark. A lot of you have probably heard of Aramark's, their leisure division. And I walked away from my consistent income, my consistent bonuses, my corner office in the downtown, to pursue my dreams. My husband and I left our jobs, quit them. We gave like 2 months notice, and we moved to the Caribbean. And within our first 2 months, maybe 3 for the second business, first 2 months of being there, we started our first 2 businesses. And all of a sudden, we no longer had that consistent income coming in from our jobs. It was all up to us. And within a few months, that fear, that anxiety, that stress that comes up when you don't know where the money's coming from started to take over. And I ended up going back to work. We kept his business going. We kept both businesses going, but he stayed in his business full time. I still did the marketing and the stuff for that I did. But I went back because I didn't feel safe. I knew that if I went back to a 9 to 5, someone was going to pay me as long as I showed up and I did my work and I did the tasks, right? So I was in sales, in this newer position. I knew I needed to go do outreach, needed to send messages, right? I needed to connect with my clients. I needed to follow up with prospects. I knew that I needed to show up every day by 8 a.m. because that was what was expected of me. And that around 5, it was salary, so it wasn't always on the dot, but I knew approximately when I was done for the day and that I could go home and I could do my things, right? And I felt confident that I was going to be paid, that I was going to have consistent income, that every 2 weeks in my bank account, I was going to have my base pay. And And even better, if I showed up and did really well because I was in sales, I also got bonuses. So for me, that was part of what made me feel safe and consistent with what I was doing. But now, thinking about your business, want to make a shift. And if you're here live with me too, by the way, this is interactive. I love being interactive. So I want you to just pop in, say hi, and I want you to answer that question that I asked in the beginning. So if you jumped on before the beginning, or if you're watching the replay, or after the beginning, or if you're watching the replay, I want you to answer this question. In your 9-to-5 life, whether it's right now, you're still working in it, or in the past, what about that situation, right? What makes you or made you feel confident in getting consistently paid? Like what about that made you know that you were going to get the money that you wanted, right? So let me know in the comments. And again, if you're watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay. Let me know what about that actually worked for you. Okay, so as I was saying, I was going back to my own 9-to-5 experience. I knew exactly what I needed to do every day in order to get the result that I wanted, to get that paycheck in my account. I knew the actions that I needed to take, and that made me feel safe. And I didn't have that stress. I didn't have that anxiety. So I showed up and I got it, right? Until one day I didn't. One day I showed up, and this was again after, well, I think I might have skipped a part. So I left my job. We moved to the Caribbean. Like, it was amazing, right? Within 2 months, we were living in the Virgin Islands, in paradise, working on our businesses. And when it didn't work out and I had to go back to work, I actually had a couple jobs over a period of a couple of years. But the last one, I felt safe. I felt confident until one day I showed up. I was brought into a little room, or the meeting room, with other people from the sales department. And the chief financial officer was sitting on the other side of the table, had a bunch of envelopes in front of him, and just like sheepishly slid the envelopes across the table to each of us, as he proceeded to then say, well, we've had to make some cutbacks, and effective immediately, you no longer work here, basically. I mean, he used some other words, and to be honest, I was so like in shock, and like that feeling of stress, anxiety, like, oh shit, what am I going to do, was taking over, that I didn't even hear what he was saying. And I freaked out, and not necessarily in that moment, but I just kind of said, okay, well, crap. And on the way back home, and I had to get a ride from a coworker because my husband had dropped me off and I couldn't get a hold of him. So I'm bawling, I'm frantic. What am I going to do? I don't know how we're going to pay our bills. Like, Ben's business wasn't making enough money. I was freaking out, right? And this is what happens to a lot of you in your business. You don't know where the money is coming from. How am I going to pay my bills? But the thing is it can happen in a 9-to-5 too. So I want you to be able to think about those things in your business, or those things in your 9-to-5 that actually made you feel secure. And then I want you to take that same concept into your business, right? And think about it. Like, you knew in your 9-to-5, you know exactly what to do. You know the actions you need to take. You feel confident that you're going to get paid, right? Those are the big things. So do you feel confident in your business that you're going to get paid? I want to ask you that question. Do you feel like you know exactly what you need to do in order to get paid, in order to keep your business going? Like, those are the things. Do you know what you need to do, and are you confident? Because a lot of times that fear, that anxiety, that stress, it's what actually stops us from getting things. And now, going back to my story, when I was let go and I was given, I think I was given an opportunity, but at the time I didn't see that at first. So I was frantically looking for jobs, freaking out, wondering how we were going to get money. Ben ended up having to go back to work to help support us. And, but it wasn't as much as I had been making. So what were we going to do? And then I started taking the actions. I started doing the things, and I just said, I'm going to make this business work. I'm going to make money. I'm going to make a business work. And within, it took a few months from when I was laid off to get to that point of like feeling good. I got my first consulting gig and I was making $5,000 a month. It was, it was consistent. I knew I was going to get paid, but I still had that feeling of this could go away at any moment. But I never thought about when I was in a 9 to 5, because we're conditioned to think a certain way when we're in our jobs working for someone else, where we have that complete confidence in them that they're going to pay us, but yet we don't have that confidence oftentimes in ourselves and in our work when we have our own business. So creating consistent income, yes, there's the actions that you can take and the knowing what you need to do. But it's you knowing what you need to do. It's you feeling confident in the fact that you know the things that you need to do in order to feel safe in your business. And it's taken me, honestly, several years to get to a point where I felt really safe and confident in creating that consistent income. Not because I didn't know what to do, but because I didn't have the confidence in myself. And I've seen this in so many of my clients and the people that I work with, that they really do. Like you know what to do, but you don't believe in yourself enough to know that you know. And the biggest secret to creating consistent income, it's not having the right sales funnels. It's not about making sure that you have your Facebook group and that you're on every platform and that you're creating content every single day. Like, yes, there's certain things about those that are important, but some of them aren't as important as you conquering your confidence, as you knowing that you are good enough, that you know what you need to do every day, right? So for me, like in my 9 to 5 life, I knew that I had to show up. I had to make sales calls. I had to follow up. I had to attend meetings. I had to build relationships. Like I knew all those things that I need to do in my business, and I got a paycheck because I was doing what someone else expected of me. But what do you expect of yourself? That's what I want to know. Yes, believe in yourself. Be confident. That's what it comes down to. And, it may seem like a simple thing, and it is simple, but it's not always easy. And I get that. So creating consistent income for your business, it begins with you doing the work on yourself, not just taking the action every day of doing what other people, what the gurus are telling you to do. It's taking the time to sit down and say, okay, how am I feeling today? And if you're feeling that stress and anxiety coming up, identifying it and working through it instead of ignoring it. Because when you ignore it and you just keep moving on in your day and pushing it down further and further and further and just saying, okay, it's just going to go away. It's just going to go away. It's not. You're going to bury it further and further. And as you grow in your business, and this has happened to me, as you grow in your business, you grow as a person and those feelings start to come back up. And even though like you were making money, then one day it can just come up and stop you. So you have to do the work on yourself right now, today, in this moment. If you want to have consistent income, is decide that you know what you need to do to show up for yourself and do the things that you need to do, to believe in yourself that you can create this income that you need to make, and that you trust yourself to do the things that you need to do in order to actually make this happen. And that could be that you need to send messages. It could be that you need to create content. It could be that you need to hire somebody to help you to stay consistent with showing up for yourself. You need someone to help bring this stuff out of you, that you need someone to help you grow that confidence. And that might be that you need to know how to run certain aspects of your business, or you want to feel more confident in your ability to write and speak. It's okay, but those things are not the need to be making consistent income for everybody. They might be what you need to feel more confident in yourself. So remember that what everybody's telling you out there to do, like that's not the thing for making consistent income. It's you knowing what you need, doing the work on yourself, and getting consistent with knowing how to show up and how to show up for yourself in your business. And yes, Donna said, believe in yourself and be confident, because that's what's going to be the difference. I've had months where I went into fear mode. I went into stress, anxiety. How am I going to pay my bills? But when you focus on the fact that you don't have enough, when you focus on that fear, you're not focusing on your belief in yourself. When you focus on your belief in yourself and what you're doing, and you know it's freaking awesome, and you know what you have to put out there to the world is good enough, you're going to get the results. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And it starts sometimes, it's frustrating because you want someone to just come in and tell you, here's the exact answer. No, doing business your way, building your business in a way that feels really good for you, allowing you to decide how it goes for you, that all comes with confidence, and that's what drives results. So if you want to create consistent income for your business, it starts with knowing yourself, knowing what you need to do every day, knowing that if the stress and anxiety comes up for you, that you need to take a step back and identify what's causing it and do the work around it now instead of pushing it down for later. And it's freaking believing that you know. It's believing that you can do it, and you can. And it might be getting the help that you need to make it happen, right? So as I said, this concept of consistent income comes up for a lot of my clients, and it's probably the number one goal that I work with people on. And sure, they want to hit those big, 10K, 20K, whatever months. Sure, they want flexibility. They want to spend more time with their kids. They want to travel. They want to do all the things. But most of all, and I think this stands for all of you, you want to feel safe, right? They want to feel safe. They want to know they can pay their bills. So what can you do right now in this moment to do this for yourself? Or what can you do to get the support to help you to find that confidence in yourself, to help you to find your path, to help you to create a business that works for you? So I ask you those questions. I want you to ask them to yourself. But when it comes down to it, the Strategy and Support Society, you've heard me mention it a lot, is definitely something that, we can help you in these areas. If it's something you want more information about, send me a message. But really what it comes down to is you finding what you need to feel confident in yourself, doing the work to feel confident in yourself, and showing up every day believing that you can actually freaking do it, because you can. And I want to hear about it. So creating consistent income starts with you. Yes, there's more to it, and we'll go into that in some future lives. But if you want consistent money, the first thing you have to do is believe that you can freaking do it, because you can. Because going back to your 9 to 5, right? Going back to your 9 to 5, you felt confident. You knew that was going to show up for you. You knew you were going to get paid. Why is your business any different? Okay. So what are you going to do today to make sure that you get paid? What are you going to do today to feel confident in yourself? Let me know in the comments. Okay. And have a lovely week, and I will talk to you all soon.